Hi, my name is Gabriela Griffin. I'm with StudioSwiss.com. This is how to upholster a chair, step 5. In the previous videos I showed you how to apply the webbings, how to tie the springs, the stuffing and then the stitching. Now we cannot finish the seat yet because we have to start working on the back. The reason for it is all the webbing and the burlap is attached to the bottom rail here on the inside back. So if we finish the seat first, this would have been very difficult. So what I give you a little overview in regard to how we did the back, because if I were to go in all the details it would be just another long video. So what I did a pattern first, laid out the diamonds, and then calculated it based on the golden section, which is an old formula that is used in painting, drawing, architecture, sculpturing. And when I did that, I started with the stuffing, and as you can see, I always tied it down here onto the burlap. Now, this is muslin. This is not the fabric. I do all the furniture in muslin first. And then what I did is I sew down the pleats so they lay nice and flat. Later on, when I cover with the fabric, there is going to be no problem, and it's a nice surface to work with. Also here, I reset the upholstery a little bit, so we have plenty of room for the double welt, which is right here in the groove, and the double welt will nicely lay flat onto the frame. Now I'm going to get started with the seat. We are starting with the fill stitches, and then fill them with horsehair, and then the cotton and the muslin, and we go from there. So I already sewed the fill stitches, as you can see. I started in the back here, went along the edges all the way around it. Then I did the one in the centers, always spaced equally apart. As you can see, those fill stitches are not as loose as the one we had when we built the foundation, because we had to fill much more horsehair. And this is, by the way, this is called a façon, and this is called the horsehair. When you apply the horsehair, it's called a bigour. Now let me show you how we get started here. When we fill the horsehair, we always, again, just like with the fill stitches, we start from the center, going along the edges first, so in a half circle, then from the center to the outside, so you always space them equally. So let me demonstrate here real quick. I fill the first stitch. Now I do the same motion by pulling and weaving the horsehair into the stitch, like you see here. Loosen this up a little bit, fill the stitch, loosen the stitch a little, loosen the horsehair a little bit, so we don't have any knots in there, it's nice and loose, and then weave it back into the previous filling. And we don't need much, because again, we don't build the upholster, we have the upholster already. Now I'm going to fill all this, and then also I'm going to fill this little belly, you can see here, so it gives it a nice shape. Now we are finished with the horsehair. We make sure that the horsehair lays on top of the edge and not over the edge, because you will get bumps, so you don't want that. And then also we have a nice little belly here, as you can see. Make sure that the horsehair lays on the edge all the way around it. Take out a little bit from the edge here, so that the fabric and the muslin, which we're going to apply later on, lays snug and flat towards to the corners. Now here we are going to put now a layer of cotton on it. So, and we're going to take out a little bit from the cotton here on the corner to make sure that we don't have an overlap. And then again on the side we take off a little bit, and on the front we take off a little bit here. And then the next step is going to be applying the muslin. So the chair is now covered with muslin, and you can see we have a nice edge here following along the contour of the frame. We got a nice little belly, we got a nice little crown, not too much, not too little. The same thing on the side. We followed the contour of the rail, so it goes in here a little bit and comes out. Now the back, we cannot finish the back in muslin yet, because when we put the fabric on for the seat, it goes actually this way, we have to tack it underneath here, and it would be very difficult to tack the cover onto the ducky when we have the back already finished. Now in the old days, what they used to do is, when they had the chair finished in muslin and they wanted to show it off in their windows so the people could see what kind of work they do, they would put a decorative stitch here right on the edge. I'm going to show you one of the stitches I know of, and it's very simple, but it has a nice effect and it shows off the finished edge. So we go back here like a little cross stitch, and they would do that all the way around here and on the side, and then place it in the window so people could see what kind of quality work they do. So that's it for right now. The next step will be having the chair being covered with fabric.